has chosen the storyline spread for your general monthly reading, which is a scattershot across the entire sign, telling 3, 4, or even 5 different stories for people going through different scenarios this month. The stories can be about any topic, so the floor is wide open. People say that often multiple stories do and will resonate with them, but the main goal of the storyline spread is to find that one story that is all about you. And that is what we're going to do today. Okay, Gemini, it is time for your storyline spread for January 2024. What we didn't talk about in the intro is that this is actually a love spread. So the storylines are all about the love corner, guys. The love corner, a very large place in your life because it's not just your love and relationship partner. Of course, it can be about that, but also your family, close friends, pets, anybody close to your heart, even deceased loved ones, which this reading is rife with a lot of deceased loved ones. I'm telling you guys, the other side is very, very talkative today, this month. So that's going to be in story 2 and 3, though. So toward the end of your reading, guys. But let's get started. So keep in mind that this is a love spread. Story number 1. The first thing that we bring in here, the attachment card to you to try to get you to figure out if this story is about you or not, is they bring in kind of my card of winter turning into warm and fuzzy. Okay, so if you've it's either the energy of like just coldness, coming in from the cold. You know how good of a feeling that is when you're in a nice warm house after it's freezing cold outside, or a nice warm car. Okay, that's the energy they bring in here. So if that's been going on with you just in general, financially perhaps, just a very warming period here, doing very well financially. If you're one of these lucky Geminis here, getting out of that cold, getting into a very nice financial spot here, you can even be rich since it's a love spread, rich in family. If you feel like you are any of those, this could very well be your story. So what they talk about next here is the star card. So they're letting you Geminis know specifically that this month in January is very much about momentum. This is about things that are coming to you, Gemini. It is less about your day-to-day choices. It is more about destiny. Okay, that's a double-edged sword. It's good and bad, but you got stuff coming to you one way or another this month. So it doesn't mean that you can't choose certain things. Of course, like we still make choices in our day-to-day lives, but there is a much bigger current going on here, a much bigger tide at play, so to speak. I did realize that I did not pull an extra card here to see if that's about a person. So I'm going to do that real quick just to verify. I don't think it is, and it's not. So we're in good shape. The next thing they talk about is my King of Wands that I just verified is not a person, not the king. Here they're talking about work authority, guys. Even though this is a love spread, some of you may be being authoritative with somebody at work, asking them out on a date, something like that. But for the rest of you, they're just saying here, don't get carried away with the family and neglect work. This has come up for another sign as well too, guys. You guys are only the third sign that I'm reading, so I'm very early in, so I can't say it's for everybody, but it's already come up for another sign. So this is very relevant, I believe, for a lot of you. So pay attention to work. Do not neglect work in January, even though this is a love spread. The next thing they show here is patience, guys. Patience. So that kind of, if you read between the lines, first of all, they show you're doing a great job of being patient. So a little pat on the back there, a nice little applause. Good thing going on there, Gemini, but you're going to have to keep being patient in January. Okay, you're not out of the briar patch yet. You still have more ways to go. You got more stuff you got to conquer, deal with, check off the list, that kind of stuff. But be patient. You guys are doing good. They show you're in a good headspace moving forward with this. Everything in story 1 is relatively coming in very, very clear. And my Oracle Angel card that they talk about here is you know what to do. It says trust your inner knowledge and act upon it without delay. So Spirit here is calling for quick, decisive action. They're saying you already know what to do, so all you got to do is do it. That's the good news. Okay, easier said than done sometimes, but hopefully this gives you the encouragement to pull the trigger with whatever it is that you feel like you need to do in January, because they're saying you already have it. You got it. Just do it. There we go. Story number 1. Okay, guys, let me take a moment here to tell you about the reformatting of your general monthly readings, as well as a few very exciting updates that are coming. The first thing you've probably already noticed is that the overhead camera has been removed from your spread. This saves us about 4 or 5 minutes. If looking at the cards, though, is something that you're interested in, I am posting the picture, a snapshot overhead view from the spread that I'm doing for every sign. You can find that on Facebook. Also on Facebook, you'll be able to find the printout for chemistry tracking for your month. And this is also posted on my website. Chemistry tracking basically shows what sign is going to be vibing well with your sign in the month, as well as what sign or signs will be repelling, kind of opposite energy. What sign you're going to be kicking well with and what sign you're not so much. Moon Cycle Cheat Sheet will also be posted on scottsagent.com on the Talking About page, and also Moon Cycle will be included in your reading, along with the Rune Stone, and along with Homily. All the things that you've grown to love will still be in your reading. You're getting an extra thing here, though, because every single sign is getting angel protection at the end of your reading. This is an extra angel card, just a little extra information from Spirit about your month. However, all the spreads that I called extra spreads, stuff like telling time, yes or no, chakra scrub, health scrub, stuff like that, animal totems, all that good stuff, those are all extra spreads. Those are going to be moved into what I call urgent readings. Urgent readings are going to be posted the very first week of the month. If Spirit requested one, about half of the signs get these. So that's going to be very important to look out for. Those will be posted everywhere, but of course all the newest updates will be posted on scottsagent.com first. The last thing I want to share with you today is that the quadrants video is coming. January 3rd is the date, and that is the quadrants video for your sign. And this forecasts information for the entire year. It is some of my most popular videos and audio products as well. So quadrants is something you do not want to miss. That'll be everywhere January 3rd. What is a quadrant? Well, quadrant forecast for your entire year broken up into 4 different pieces. And we're going to be talking about things like work, health, love, money, planning and preparation for vacations, relaxation, when the best quadrant is for you guys to get busy and be productive, when is the best quadrant to play it safe, and when is the best quadrant for risks. We're going to be looking at themes for the different quadrants, a whole bunch of information that you guys will be able to obtain from these readings, so do not miss the quadrants dropping January 3rd. And for January only, Quadrants is available as a personal audio product, a personal reading done just for you, looking at the planning and preparation for your year, going through all of the same topics, but just making it that much more accurate for you. It is one of my most popular products, and it is only available in January, so do not wait to book your Quadrants reading. scottsagent.com. Story number 2, we get into the first heavenly divine little hello. We have hello from heaven coming in as my Oracle Angel card. Okay, now I also have the death card. So anytime we have death with hello from heaven, it is very, very crystal clear that we have somebody from the other side doing one of these. And this could even be somebody very, very close to death too, doing that from the other side. You know, it's a very weird kind of conundrum that happens, especially when we're very, very close to death. You know, we got one foot in the door, one foot out. We spend a lot more time actually on the other side than we do here. So I'm just throwing that out there that'll be for some of you here. Even if you got a close loved one that is just very close. Okay, this could even be them because quantum allows to be in multiple places at the same time. Long story short. Anyway, we got hello from heaven. So this is basically just an opportunity, even if it's not that situation. Maybe it's a deceased loved one of yours who has been gone a while, but we have a hello from heaven. I don't have more details than that as far as, you know, the information about them. I can tell you though something very interesting about this. Because this makes me feel like it is somebody who is very surprised by how extravagant heaven actually is. So it makes me feel like this could be a non-believer, somebody who like doubted you or is basically saying, hey, you know what? You were right. This is pretty awesome. Okay, so, and I know that because we have 9 of Pentacles coming in. That is the veil basically between physical earth plane realm and the heavenly realms, the higher dimensions. So it's saying here that it's such a good veil, right? So it's basically saying the other side of this veil is so good. I'm trying to use a weird kind of vocabulary to kind of dictate these very weird themes into human language, but this is you know, the way it's constructed. Tarot language is very interesting. So that's what they're trying to say here is that, man, this is awesome. And they're in a really good place, guys. I hope this is about, you know, one of your loved ones. The other thing that they show that really makes me feel that way about them is they bring in the High Priestess card, which is a card about information being presented, like you're getting the whole library, access to the whole thing. So this is somebody who is maybe very analytical. Like I said, maybe a non-believer, didn't expect it to be this way, but they're like, man, this is information. You know, everything that is available to us at our fingertips, you know, soul fingertips. is awesome. This is so amazing. This information, I never believed in a million years it would be like this. They're very excited about that. And they just wanted to do that and tell you they're doing just fine. If that sounds like somebody for you, it probably is. Don't worry, because we have another one coming in story 3. So, my other angel oracle card that talks about very similar themes is Beloved One. We have Beloved One coming in here. It says, I am helping you with your spiritual soulmate relationship. And since this is a love spread, we already talked about a loved one, deceased loved one there, and love corner stuff there in story 1 about you know what to do about things. Here, we have another angel popping in here, so to speak. Angel, I use the word loosely because angel, the other side, we don't know exactly the details. But this is more than likely a man. I know that because I have my Emperor card coming in, and Emperor is kind of like the older guy, right? The older man. So here they're saying, they brought in Beloved One to let me know, somebody from the other side's really helping you out from the other side, which they have a very good tendency to do. It's very common, actually. And they brought that in, but they're kind of saying like, hey, but let him know I'm a dude though, because in my Beloved One card, it's pictured as a woman. If you're looking at my picture of the spread on Facebook, you're kind of doing, if you're looking at that, you can see that that's a woman. And we got the Emperor card on top of that, basically saying, let him know though that it's a guy, it's a man bringing this message through, that I'm the one helping him out, not a chick, right? So that's kind of the energy. Very interesting. They show here that the 7 of Pentacles next, it's inverted. It's saying like slow growth. It's like they're saying, you're going to break this thing open. You're going to get to a place where you really grow quick. Okay. Maybe they're kind of reassuring you in a way, Gemini, especially if they're helping you out, because they're letting you know like, hey, you know what? You're going to be okay because I'm here to help you. And I'm doing things behind the scenes that you don't understand. I'm pulling levers and moving the curtains around in a way that's beneficial to you. And if you're not looking for it, you're never going to see it. So keep your eyes open, okay? They show that they're also kind of being a little harsh on you, I guess, here by saying, you are not complete here yet. There are things you have to check off the boxes more. You are not done. Your work is not done here. Don't even get lazy. You know what? Pick up the slack, so to speak. It's very, very strong in that way. So this is basically saying, like what I just said, I don't think there's really much more to say about it, but just checking things off the list. And January is such a good time to do that, guys. Go address it. I mean, you got your father or grandfather or uncle or somebody here barking in your ear about it, so it's obviously very relevant for your January. And not just that, but they talk about how quick you can do this too. We have the 8 of Wands coming in, which is my fastest card in the tarot deck. Very quick. It can also be fast traveling news coming to you very fast in January, news that you were not expecting. It doesn't really tell me if it's good or bad. It just tells me that it's fast. So we have fast traveling news coming in for my story 3, folks. There we go, Gemini. Let's get into your extra stuff here. We got the runestone coming in as fertility. The runestone of fertility is what was chosen for Gemini. The ground is very fertile. The ground is very ripe. Of course, we can't really talk about that much in story 2 because they use that opportunity to just play a telephone. In story 3, they're saying how fast, perhaps, with the fast energy, how quick you can get this turned around, guys. And, of course, it doesn't feel like that to us always. It can feel like, oh, this is going to take a lifetime to achieve, or, oh, this is going to take forever for me to get out of debt. This is going to take forever for me to find the love of my life, right? Whatever it is for you. Here, they're saying that's actually not the case. The ground is very fertile, okay? So pick up the slack, especially in story 3. Fertility over here in 1, they show how fertile the ground is by your being very welcomed out of the winter, out of the cold. Be patient. You know what to do. So there is a trigger that you have to pull, though, in story 1. And the ground is very fertile, so pull that trigger in January. There we go. The last thing we end up with is an angel protection card. It's an extra one that I do for every single sign now, guys. It is kind of just part of my giving you a little extra here. Just give Spirit an extra little bit here to tell you about your month. They decided to tell you about claircognizance. So it says in the card, pay attention to your thoughts and ideas that come to you as they are answered prayers. We talked about that, I believe, in 2 or 3 with the other side, helping you, giving you clues. You're never going to notice things if you're not looking for them. I always pay attention to license plates, songs I hear that I don't put on the radio at different businesses, restaurants, stuff like that. You got to be looking for the signs or you're never going to see it, guys. They're saying here, pay attention to what comes to you. This can even be like dream state stuff. Pay attention to your dreams. This is the other side trying to get through to you, trying to get you inspired and messaging through to help you just have a better year, probably. So that wraps up this section of your reading. I'm going to transfer you over into the moon cycles and a very special homily. Okay guys, it is moon cycles forecast time. Let's talk about these lunar energies that are all around us anyways, so we can use it to our benefit, implement some positive change into your month. Well, the first thing you need to understand is whether these energies are coming in or going out. Just like the tides, the moon has control of that. In the same way, you can use it too. The first thing that hits chronologically this month is the new moon. You're going to see all the text information on your screen, any rare occurrences, as well as the date. Now, this is a target date for the new moon. It doesn't have to be done on this date, guys. I really like to bracket a few days before and a few days after to get a very powerful week where you can bring new things into your life and really manifest. If it is NEW, it's not there before, brand new, this is the best time to bring it into your life. Something new financially, maybe something new with work, new love, new health. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's new, this is the best time of the month to work on these things, really help bring it in. Adversely, the full moon, the opposite energy, the energy going out, hits on this date on your screen. And of course, the same rules apply. It doesn't have to be done on this date. We're talking about a week window, a few days on each side of it here. When this energy is very strong going out, and the energy going out is the best time to get things out of your life that don't belong there or that you don't want there, something that's got control of you or hold of you that you don't want. Maybe something like a bad habit, maybe emotional baggage, a bill that's got to go. That would be something financially, maybe something with health, maybe an eating habit that's got to go. It doesn't matter if it's got to go. The full moon is your best bet to get this change to stick. If any of this has confused you, I've put together a moon cycle cheat sheet. I do it every single month. It is free. It is on the website, guys. You can check it out very easily. It is a little graphic illustration, a tool that you can use so you can kind of see these changes moving in and moving out, so you can align things in your month to it to really get them to stick, implement some great positive changes. Now let's get into your homily. Hey guys, this is Scott Sagent here for your January 2024 edition of Homily. And for this month's homily, starting the new year, I thought it would be fun if we did a little thought experiment here, so that is why you cannot see me right now. And that's okay, because I cannot see you either. It's actually not necessary. You can hear my voice, and that is all you're going to need in this exercise. It's a little thought experiment called the Ideal You. So go ahead and take this opportunity, since it's going to be a closed eye kind of a meditation. Take this opportunity to find a little couch, a comfortable spot, a recliner, a bed, a sofa, whatever it is for you. Get nice and comfortable where you can shut your eyes for a few minutes. If you're driving, you know what? Probably don't participate. I think that would be a bad idea. Maybe you can come back and check this homily out at a safer time for you. But for everybody else, let's get started with the Ideal You experiment. The very first thing I want you to consider and think about is what you would rate yourself here on a scale of 1 to 10, kind of where your placement is in life, how you have attained your goals over the last few years, if you're where you want to be, if you're nowhere close to where you want to be, the way that you present yourself, the way that others perceive you, all of these things. I'm just giving you a few examples of, obviously it's a much bigger umbrella, and whatever it is for you, the way that you come up with your rating system is just fine, but come up with a number to where you feel like you are at right now. Okay, so remember that number, but also throw it away. We're not going to need it for a while. Right now, we're not going to concern ourselves with future goals. We're really just worrying about the present, right here, right now. What does your ideal you look like right now? How do they dress? How do they carry themselves? How do they act around people? How are they perceived by people? How are they perceived in the workplace? All this kind of thing. You have to visualize it to make it come true. So this is a visual aspect that I would like you to consider right now, and be very, very specific about your visualization. Think very deeply about the details. How this person wears their nails, what kind of jewelry they wear, what do they dress like, what kind of body language do they put out, how do they speak, what kind of tone, do they smile easily, how big, are they warm to others? This is your ideal you that I would like you to consider, visualize, and hang on to that visual. Now take this energy signature, this whole idea that you just constructed in your mind and put together and puzzle pieced together. Maybe some of you duct tape and super glued it together. It doesn't matter. Take this energy signature here, and what we're going to do is we're going to expand it. We're going to make it much, much larger. However you viewed it before, we're going to multiply this times like 100, times 1,000, times whatever it is that this sucker is huge. Whether it's a visual of you or a goal or what it is, we're going to make it massive. So think about it getting bigger, 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 and much, much bigger than even that. Now maybe some of you have made this so big that you have to zoom out just to be able to see the whole picture anymore, and that's just fine. But now we're going to adjust and tune the contrast. We're going to tune some settings here. So adjust that contrast. We're going to make everything very bright. All those colors are going to get vibrant and very, very sharp. There's going to be no dull colors here at all. Everything is super bright, full of contrast. Once you're done tweaking that, now we're going to tweak the brightness. We're going to make it bright, all the way fully bright as you can go before it hits white. So now these colors are not just bright, but they are almost blinding, and they are so sharp. The final setting that we're going to tweak is frequency. We're going to turn that frequency knob all the way up to high. You cannot hear frequency here, but you almost can, because as you turn it up high, you can see this picture shaking, vibrating. You can feel it very deeply in your bones. This frequency is being turned up high. You are raising the level of your energy signature of what you've created. I picture this ringing like a champagne glass, and once you've got this frequency all the way turned up, your brightness and your contrast all the way turned up, your energy signature, we want to blow it up, and not just blow it up to get rid of it, but we're going to blow it up and expand it out in every direction, just like a supernova, a star exploding, and we're going to mentally just shoot this whole entire signature that you've created everywhere, little bits and pieces of it fragmented everywhere, every which way, and it's just dropping down like snow, falling a little bit here, a little bit there, and visualize how people are reacting to this version of you. As we wrap up your January homily and conclude our thought experiment, I have two final questions for you. Number one, rate yourself again, how you feel right now. I want to know how you feel, how this makes you feel, your ideal you being everywhere. What is your rating now? I don't care what it was before. How do you feel right now? Most people, general consensus, bump up their first number after an experiment like this of 1 or 2 points. Maybe you're experiencing that. Maybe you boosted even higher. Maybe you stayed the same, I'm not exactly sure, but the consensus is that most people do raise up just from this couple minutes of this idea processing in their mind. And visualization is key for manifestation. It is the only way that it is brought into the physical realm and made real. So now you have the tools. You know how to make this energy signature. And if you can bump your rating and feel that much better about your future right now in the present moment, imagine in just a couple of minutes, imagine if you were to do this every day. This is helping you to get to that goal, to get to that place, to get to your ideal you. It's not a future deal. It's a present deal. All this work is done in the present, and this is just one tool to help you get to that point. Hopefully, January 2024 here in your homily is a good bridge to get you there. So I hope you've enjoyed the readings and your homily. Thank you all so much. Have a great January 2024. I know you will.
I guess the fortune teller's right.